Hello class, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I will teach the 4 basic arithmetic operations and how they were used in mathematics with examples. Before we go into that, basic arithmetic operations is a branch of mathematics that deals with numbers. It is used in every aspect of life. For example, in the banking sector. To make annual budgets, we make use of these operations. Also, to share things amongst people, we make use of these operations. There are 4 basic arithmetic operations. These include addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. These are the 4 basics. 4 basic arithmetic operations. And they include addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. This is a table that I've just made down, and we are going to look at them one by one. And I've grouped addition and subtraction together, and I grouped multiplication and division together. We're going to look at them one by one, and then we are going to look at examples of how we can use them. What is the effect on how we can use them? So the first one is whenever we are having a positive integer is added to another positive integer, we are going to have a positive answer or positive integer. When a negative integer is added to a negative integer, we're going to have a negative integer. The third one depends on if the negative integer is greater than the positive integer. If the negative integer is greater than the positive integer, we are going to have a negative answer. That is why it is written depends if this is this. That is just the explanation. The fourth one is if we have negative integer added to positive integer. You know that one is just like inverting it. That depends if the negative integer is greater than the positive integer. It is going to give us a negative integer. The fifth one is when we subtract, when we find a difference between the two positive integers. If you find a difference between two positive integers, depends if the negative, because if the negative is greater than the positive, it is a negative. For example, the reason this is written this way is that whenever you have negative, to open a bracket is stronger and powerful than the plus sign. So the minus sign displaces the plus sign. That is why it said depends if the minus is greater than the positive. If that is the case, we are going to have a negative answer. The sixth one, if you are subtracting between two negative integers, that also depends if the negative integer is greater than the positive integer, because whenever you are opening this bracket, this minus, the bracket means you are multiplying by the negative. You are using this minus to open this bracket and it becomes plus. When it becomes plus, that means you are having minus plus the integer. So that is why if the minus is greater than the positive, is greater than the plus, it is going to give a negative. We're going to go into examples and see them one after the other. The video is getting longer, and at this point, if you have watched to this point, please subscribe to my channel, like and share. So the seventh one is when we're having a positive integer subtracting from another negative integer. Another negative integer. In this case, the minus is used to open the bracket of the minus and it becomes plus. So your answer is going to give you plus. This eighth one, if you're having a negative integer minus positive integer, a negative integer minus positive integer, you are going to have a negative answer. Then the ninth one says if you are adding two negative integers. Okay, I've already said that up here. It's already been said up here that if you're having two negative integers, so we don't have to go into that. So that is what we have under addition and subtraction. Can we look into the multiplication and division? Under multiplication and division, we have that. Before we move, let's quickly look at something. Whenever you are multiplying a minus with anything, just be very careful, because minus is powerful is stronger than the plus. It can easily displace the plus. So if you have minus, that's a negative integer and negative integer, if you multiply them together, they're going to give you positive result, positive integer. That's number one. Number two, if you're having a positive integer multiplied by the negative integer, it's going to give you a negative integer. Can you see the power in the minus sign? So if you're having two positive integers together, multiplying them together, you're going to have positive integer. It doesn't change. So any of the same integers will give you plus. That means that's why you are saying negative and negative integer give you plus. Plus and plus integer give you plus. When the sign are changed, when you change the sign from plus to minus, the minus supersedes. So the fourth one is minus integer times the plus integer will give you minus integer. The fifth one, minus integer divided by the minus integer will give you plus integer. So whenever they are having the same, like multiplication and division, whenever they are having the same sign in front of them, they are giving us positive. But if they have different sign between them, the sign changes to negative. So the sixth one is plus divided by minus will give us minus. Seventh one, plus divided by plus will give us plus. Then the eighth one is minus divided by the plus will give us plus. So these are all the options that we have. So we're going to be taking them one after the other for examples. Example. Now, if I'm going to use this number 3, 4, and 2. 3, 4, and 2. The first one is if, which is the first from this that I wrote up here. I'm going to be picking them one after the other. Please follow me as I go, please. So the first one, if I have plus 3 plus 4 plus 3 plus 4, this will give us plus will give us positive. So this will just give us plus 7. Okay, this is what you can use to know if you are having trouble under these signs. The first one is, if you look at it, just place plus. Use plus as if it is something that you have. For example, you have money. That is the money you have. Then negative, place it as something that you borrow money. So that is the simplest way of looking into that. Plus means you have the money. Negative means you borrow money. So if you look at this, it's interpreted that I have $3 and I have another $4. The total that I have is $7. That is simple. So the second one is, if I say minus 3 plus minus 4, what would that give us? And we already said from the top that minus plus minus will give us minus. So in this way, we're going to have minus 7. And you can easily interpret that I borrowed $3 from someone, and again I borrowed $4 from another person. So how much have I borrowed? So whenever you see negative or minus in front of a number, just interpret it as if you borrow. So that means you are borrowing $7. So the third one now is when we have plus 3 plus minus 4, and it says that it depends if the minus is greater than the plus. As you can see here, the minus here is greater than the plus. So in this way, we are going to have minus 1. Or let us put it in this way. What if we have plus 3 plus minus 2? Plus 3 plus minus 2. You can see that the number in front of the plus is greater than the number in front of the minus. So in this case, we are going to have plus 1. I'm pretty sure we are now seeing something different. So the fourth one now is, if we have minus 3 plus 4, minus 3 plus 4. In this case, we are going to have plus 1. Or if we say minus 3 plus 2. In this case, it depends if the minus is greater than the plus. In this case, in this second case now, the minus is greater than the plus. So in this case, we're going to have minus 1. I'm pretty sure this is getting more interesting. So the fifth one is, if you have plus 3 minus plus 3 minus plus 4. Based on the explanation, this minus is powerful than the plus. It displaces this plus. So if we want to solve that, that means we're going to have plus 3 minus, so this is what we're going to have, plus 3 minus 4, because the minus displaces the plus. So in this case, what do we have? We have 3 minus 4, and that will give us minus 1. Or since it depends on another thing, we can say plus 3. What if we have plus 3 minus plus 2. Minus plus 2. You can see the difference. This one, the plus here is greater than the plus here. Now in this case, we are going to have plus 3 minus 2, and that one going to give us 1. We can see the difference in that too. So what about the sixth one? The sixth one says that minus 3 minus 4, and that one depends also, because whenever you are using this minus to open this bracket, it becomes plus. This is what we have: minus 3 plus 4, minus 3 plus 4, and this is going to give us 1. It's going to give us 1. Or if we say minus 3 minus 2, we are using a lesser number, so in that way we're going to have minus 3 plus 2, and that's going to give us minus 1. It's very, very interesting, right? So the seventh one says that plus 3 minus 4, plus 3 minus 4, plus 3 minus 4. So we're going to interpret that to become plus 3 plus 4, because the minus is used to open the bracket. So the minus times minus become plus. So in this case, we're going to have plus 7. That looks easier. So the eighth one says that if you have minus 3 minus plus 4, minus 3 minus plus 4, and if you interpret this, we're going to have minus 3. This minus is powerful than the plus. It becomes minus 3 minus 4, and that's going to give us minus 7. So the ninth one says that minus 3 plus minus 4, minus 3 plus minus 4. If we interpret that well, we're going to have minus 3, because the plus is less than, is not powerful as minus, so we have minus 3 minus 4 to give us minus 7. And these are the examples under addition and subtraction. Look at it this way: whenever you open a bracket with a minus, the sign changes. When you open a bracket with a minus, the sign changes. So that's an example on examples under addition and subtraction. We can quickly go into examples under multiplication and division. So in that way, the first example is when we have minus 3 multiplied by minus 4. And we know that whenever we're having under both multiplication and division, whenever we're having the same sign between them, you have two signs of different integers. Because they have different signs, the result is going to be plus integer. So minus 3 times minus 4, minus times minus become plus. So we have here plus 12. Plus 12. So the second one is this: if we have plus 3 multiplies by minus 4. So what we're going to have here is that the sign retains minus 12. Minus 12. So the third one is if we have plus 3 times plus 4. Plus 3 times plus 4 is retains the plus. So the fourth one is if you have minus 3 times plus 4. Minus 3 times plus 4. In that way, the minus retains 8. So the fifth one is when we have minus 3 divided by minus 4. We are looking into the divisions now. So they have the same property. Minus 3 times minus 4. Minus 3 divided by minus 4. This will give us plus 3 over 4. Hope we are following. Then the sixth one says that if we have plus 3 divided by minus 4, plus 3 divided by minus 4, that is still going to give us minus 3 over 4, because they don't have the same sign. So the seventh one says that if we have plus 3 divided by plus 4, definitely that is going to give us the plus. We have plus 3 over 4. Plus 3 over 4. So if we look at the eighth one, the last but not the least, if we have minus 3 divided by plus 4, that one will give us what? That will give us minus 3 over 4. So what am I saying in this essence is this. If we have minus divided by minus, the meaning of that is that minus divided by minus we give plus. Minus multiplied by this minus we give plus. Minus into bracket this plus we give minus. And if we have plus divided by plus, we give plus divided by plus to give plus. If you know all this, you will not have any difficulty in solving any of these mathematics. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please help me subscribe, share, and like. Thank you very much. I will see you in the other one. Bye.